Hey y'all, APG Jamie here, and today we're going to work on this here canvas. Now, I gave it a mercy gessoing because I didn't necessarily like what was on there to begin with, and so now it's all gone. We went over it with black gesso and it left this amazing texture. Just saying. So this is kind of an experimental piece. I sort of had something in mind, and I sort of didn't have something in mind, okay? I wanted to play with that, embossing hot glue thing again. I'll link in the upper right hand corner and in the description box below, where you will conveniently also find a list of ingredients of the stuff that I used in this project, okay? So any hoodles, I'm going along and I'm using student to professional acrylic paints over there, y'all, on this, mercy gessoed canvas. And I must say, I am rather fond of this piece. Okay, yes, I like that other piece that I covered up in its day, but it didn't sell, and it was time, y'all. It was just time, okay? Even Rembrandt painted over stuff. Not that I'm comparing myself to Rembrandt, just saying. Oh, don't you just love that color? Those Pebeo Dinas, oh my goodness, because I think that's an orange color I'm using. I don't remember. It's in the ingredients below, y'all. Anyway, I love it. It goes on one color, and depending on how you look at it, it's another color, and the light hitting it, and all that good stuff. So, like I was saying, I wanted to place with the embossing with hot glue. All right? And I accidentally knocked over one of the vases I have sitting back there in my window. They're not vases, y'all. They're vases. They're glasses. They came with straws in them, but they look like the light bulbs. Those, okay. I knocked one over and a root fell out. That I'd been saving that root because I wanted to use that root one day, and you know what? It fell out, and I said, yep, today's the day for you, buddy. So that's what we did. We pulled that root out. And y'all probably saw that in the promo shot, where I showed what I essentially think I'm going to be using. Okay. So right here, I'm putting some tape on, and I'm making like a handle. When you paint the edges of canvas, you can't exactly touch it anywhere. And I thought, well, let me just put this piece of tape back here, and then I'll be able to just grab the piece of tape and slide the canvas off into my desktop here and go set it over there so it can dry for, 529 days or something. Not that long. Seems like it when it's so humid, y'all. So we're just painting along, and I'm going pretty haphazard with it. I'm loving the brush strokes. I'm loving the texture. I'm like, well, we need to brighten this up because now it's a landscape. Well, it was kind of always going to be a landscape, y'all. That was just kind of, yeah. And I thought, well, let's make this more sky-ish. I don't know. Could have left it totally abstracting. Anyway, so now we're going to make that more sky-ish, and we're going to put gold back there because, it's obvious that it's either a sunrise or a sunset. I mean, it has to be right. We've got golds and oranges and pinks and luscious. Makes me happy. And we know that's the important part. Why am I showing you this? Because y'all saw a glimpse of this during one of my other videos. What other video was it? Room tour. Way back in the day. And some people says, yeah, I want to see what you're doing on that. So here it is. If I remember, that's if and I remember, y'all. I will go back and link to this video. But that's a lot of thinking, y'all. So now we're going to put some some of the black gesso back in there because I'm like, well, I think it's just kind of too bright. Let's just knock it down because that's just how you do it. Sometimes you bring it up, you take it down, you bring it up, you take it down. It's a push and pull kind of thing. Yeah, that kind of thing. Had several hours of recording because I worked on this over several days. Here I'm painting some of the gold, for heaven's sakes, bless my heart, y'all. That's obviously black gesso. Daubling over my root there, and this is a real root. I don't remember what it's from. I better not even try to say I think it's from this, think it's from that. I do not remember. Anyway, I ended up not liking that, and I spray painted it gold. But y'all don't get to see any of that part because it's hard to hold the root in one hand and spray can in the other and the camera under your chin. It just doesn't work for me very well. So, yeah. So I thought, no, don't like those blacky lines. So now we're going to go over it with some, that's one of the Pebeo Dynas, or Pebeos. I don't know how you want to pronounce it, okay? So, yeah, one of them Dyna colors again. And I think it's a green gold. I don't know. Yellow wine, y'all. It's jaune. Yeah, knocking that back, that black back. And, let's just put some more of this dark turquoisey color on here. Oh, such a pretty color, y'all. Pretty happy with sky. And then my husband says, I think you should make it more sky-like. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. So we end up doing that too later, much later. I already gave away the plot. Well, you already saw the thumbnail too, so you know what it looks like in the end. I appreciate y'all watching. Your time, your kind comments, your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. Perhaps you'll take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you want notifications of new videos and live shows that I tend to do on the third Thursdays of each month, y'all, go ahead and click the notification bell, and you will have an option, a little pop-up box to show up. Well, that's the way it works on the laptop. I don't know how it works on any other device, y'all. I would just be telling the story. Anyway, I expect the notification bell to come up, and then it gives you a couple options. You get, I don't know what the options are. I'm not even going to make them up. It gives you a couple options, y'all, depending on what you have set up in your account and stuff. Now we're going to put on, y'all saw me paint that horizon line across there, and now we're going to paint these other lines coming down. Is it the earth cracked? Is it the water that's got like vortexes going on in it, like whirlpools or something? I don't know. This is an abstract experimental kind of landscape. It's a landscape for sure. Is it land or is it water? I don't know. Maybe it's the edge of the earth if you believe in flat land. Okay? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. You decide. Art is subject to interpretation, right? Not just the person making it, but people looking at it. Everybody could have, or at least 5 or 6 of you could have different opinions about it. Just saying. Just drawing some squiggly lines, trying to keep it loose. That is a liner brush. One of the tricks to using those, y'all, here's a little tip for you, if you wanted one or not, is the more straight up and down you hold your brush, and you hold it closer to the end of the barrel there, you'll get kind of looser lines. And it yeah. Liner brushes take practice. I'm just saying. Yeah. Just saying, a lot of, I don't know. Maybe it's like black lightning coming down from the sky, y'all. I know I like it, and I just keep adding more because I'm like, oh, I like how that looks. Let's put some more on there. Like how it looks. Put some more on there. Y'all know how I am when I overstamp stuff. It's like, oh, I like that. Spit some more. Oh, well, we went too far. Oh, well. I like it, though. I'm looking at it right now over there on the chair. It's in the frame and everything. Well, y'all saw that from the thumbnail, or from one of the pictures, anyway. It's got a frame on it. Makes me happy. So I decided to make that line just a little bit thicker. Oh, if I haven't mentioned in a while, y'all can turn the volume off on whatever device you're listening on, or watching on, I should say. You can speed up or slow down the video. I did try to keep this sort of sped up, but not super sped up, y'all. Just a little sort of sped up. Now it's time to do the embossing stuff. Oh, people are calling me. I hung up on them. So now I'm going to use that Marvy embossing pen. It's like ink, y'all. Obviously. Oh my gosh, bless my heart. It's a pen, y'all. And so putting on the embossing powder. Because on this one, like I said, I'm kind of experimental, y'all. And I'm playing with the embossing powder and hot glue again. Y'all, that's just intriguing kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's just real time. And sometimes I really do move real slow. Especially after you've watched me been sped up. Put the lid on so we don't spill it. Maybe I won't spill it. It could maybe not spill it. So we're going to heat it up. Now you do need to be careful, because when you heat acrylic paint, it is known to blister and bubble, which is not always a bad thing. Just saying. It's really hard to see on my little screen if you can tell that it's embossing, but it is. Heat embossing, y'all. Yes. Bring it up. Can you see it? You can sort of kind of see it. Now, still flat-ish because there's no hot glue on there yet. Okay? We're going to do this all the way across the horizon line, y'all. And because I want to make sure it stays nice and wet, I do just a little bit of the pen, and then I put the powder on, and then we heat emboss it, and so on and so forth. And every once in a while I'll get it out a brush and knock off some of the extra powder that has stuck in various places. And other times I don't necessarily do that. Just saying, oh, here's a brush now. It's only been like, I don't know, 2 months since I did this project. No, it hadn't been that long. More like probably a week. I don't know how many times I show you. Because it really is just sort of the same thing repeated. Repetitions. Wash, rinse, repeat kind of thing. Maybe I do show you all the way across. I don't know. Just most of the way, I guess. Oh, I'm happy with it. Will it ever get another Mercy gessoing? I hope not. I hope somebody buys it. Because, you know, I'm running out of wall space in my house, y'all. Need to share some of these things. Makes me happy. Gotta be careful with that embossing powders. It can just end up everywhere. And that is a mixture of powders. I think I kind of showed y'all when I first started the two different powders I mixed together. Changes the color slightly, and they have different melting points. I know it's kind of weird to think that, but they do. The size of the powder makes a difference on how fast or it melts and stuff. So we've probably had this discussion before, but we might discuss it again. So a few little hot glue hairs going on, and that's okay. They'll disappear as soon as you hit it with that heat gun. They're like gone. I know you can't see. And again, I'm going just little bits at a time because I want to make sure my embossing powder sticks to the hot glue. And speaking of hot glue, and one of my pet peeves, hot glue melts when it's hot. It solidifies when it cools. It is never wet. Okay? It's like candle wax. It's only wet if you put it in water. Otherwise, it's not wet. It's melted or solidified. Means came to a solid point, or as solid as it's going to get. Because if you want to talk about solids, did you know that glass, window glass, will continuously just kind of slump down? I know it's like a solid, but it's not. It will eventually, after, way many years, way many decades and seasons and centuries, it will slump down and get thicker at the bottom than it is at the top. Because it's a solid, but it's not. Well, I did say it was experimental canvas, y'all. We gotta get some science stuff going on in there. I tell you, it's just really kind of fun to play with. It's interesting. And I wasn't quite sure how it would work by doing the embossing underneath and on top of the powder. I am happy with the outcome. I know I've mentioned it before. I'll probably mention it again because we only have like another 24 hours video time. Not really, y'all. Not really that long. Maybe 24 minutes or something. No, not even that long. Yeah. Cooling it off, fanning it with my hand. Do I like it? Can you see it? Can you even tell? It's one of those little small details that I'm not sure many people would even, if any, will even realize how it's done. Now, I've already spray painted that with the gold paint. Gosh, I hope I remembered to put that in the list of ingredients in the description box below the video. Click on the word more to magically see more. If you can get to the description box. I'm not sure y'all can see that on all devices. I don't know. I know, I always just talk like everybody uses a laptop like me. Okay? So there we are. We're putting a fairly good, healthy line of gloss gel on there, because I'm going to stick it down on the canvas. And yes, I am typically only putting it on the big parts of the root. It's real root. It was a real root. I don't think it'll ever grow again after I ripped it out of the ground like I did. I don't remember what it was, y'all. Anyway, I'd already somewhat predetermined where I was going to put it, and it went down wherever it went down. It may not have been where I wanted it, but that's where it went. So I laid a piece of waxed butcher paper on top and then heavy book on top, and I left it set for, I don't know, a weekend or something. Now, because I have gaps to fill in, I'm going around, really, filling in the gap a little bit because I want to make sure this stays on there. I could have sewn it on there. I have sewn things onto canvases before. This is a stretched canvas, by the way, if I hadn't mentioned that. I don't think I did. So I'm filling in all the little gaps, and I'm going to do the one side, and then after that dries, I will come back and do the other side, because in my experience, I have found that even gloss gel will kind of be cloudy if it doesn't get to dry thoroughly. And So we're going to move on back up to the sky, because by this time my husband says, I think you should put a little sun going on up in there. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm the artist. Why did I listen to him? I don't know. But I'm happy with it, so I guess it's okay. Because sometimes we listen to our significant others, but we don't have to, because we are the artist and it is our work, and we can have it reflect what it is we want to reflect. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it is a landscape. So I guess we'll go with a little bit more of a sky view of sorts. So here again, I'm back to that pushing and pulling kind of thing. Yeah, pretty much that's what we're going to do for the next 25 days. Push and pull and push and pull. I know I get off screen sometimes, because sometimes I got to look at it straight on, because this is on a desktop. I'm not on a easel. So my son Andrew always calls it a weasel. Are you going to use your weasel? No. No weasel today, just the desktop today. Just flat. Which, when I'm doing videos, I do that most often. I do flat. Oh, that's a cool view, isn't it? I thought that was kind of cool. So we put some, was it white or off-white? Oh, I think it was, I don't know. I don't know what it was. How's that sound? Yep, I'm liking that. Let's try to get these edges just a little more blended-ish in there. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it a lot. Just maybe a little more here, a little more there. Now we're going to come back and see. Now I'm pointing. You cannot see, probably, unless you put me up on your big old giant TV. Woo! I'm going to fill it in on this side. Oh no, I've already filled in the other side. That's what I was pointing to. So we're going to put the gloss gel all on just the bottom part, because I'm wanting to try to embed the root into the surface. Okay, and we're going around the edges, because that's what I'm doing. It goes in a frame, although I guess it could be removed from the frame and just hung up on the wall. I don't know. So the thing is, when you're working on bumpy stuff, you can end up with big, thick globulars all around, and I love the texture I was able to get in with this gloss gel. It says it's a heavy gloss, but it's really, in my opinion, very soft, very malleable. And for me, I brush it on and work it in and let it set. And when I say let it set, that could be a minute, could be 5 minutes, and then come back and brush around on it some more, and that really gets some cool texture going on in it, y'all. I don't know that you can tell. Well, I certainly can't tell from across a room, but it's pretty cool, because we had that texture going on in the back, and now we got texture going to go on the top, and it gives sort of a glass-like finish. Now, and also the thing about because it is acrylic medium, y'all, it does not get hard, okay? Not like a piece of plastic. It kind of stays a little softish, not really soft, but yeah, it kind of stays that way. And because it is an acrylic, it almost has a silicone, not that it's the same thing, a silicone feel, where silicone feels like it's kind of sticky, but it's really not. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So I do finish this with 2 layers or 3. I don't remember now. It was 2 or 3 layers of gloss varnish, because that does get hard. So yeah, and it does not feel sticky at all are like silicone even. So I'm going around, I'm trying to get it evenish and trying to make sure I get filled in any little divots that weren't filled in previously. I know this video goes on forever. I know. We still got 30 more minutes to go. So here's where I'm making some more texture-ish. Making texture added. Oh, it makes me happy, y'all. Just want to touch it. But don't touch people's artwork, because boy, wouldn't you hate to mess something up. Now it's dry. Can you see it's all nice and dry? And I've already put, I don't know, the 2 or 3 coats of varnish on there. And I thought, I want to bump up some of these other black lines. So we're going back in with the hot glue and the embossing powder. And again, I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to put some hot glue on there. Then I'm going to sprinkle the embossing powder on there, because I want them to get kind of married. Everybody be happy and join together and be all nice and happy together, just like one. And I will be tamping that off, and again, I'll be using the brush off and on in various places. Makes me happy. And I don't go down the entire black line, just portions of it. Here we go. And this is the same powder. Y'all know that embossing powder lasts forever. Don't worry, people, we're getting there. We've only got like 30 more minutes to go in the video. Not really, people. The video is, it might be right at 30 minutes entire for the whole thing. Okay, I know it's just more of the same. But I've also know that some people like to get up in the morning and they put together a playlist for the day. And I have this on Good Authority, that some people will only put at least 30-minute videos in their playlist so that they can play them through all day long while they're doing their whatever they do at their house. Okay? Some people, sometimes we call it chores. Okay? It was something they did in the way back olden days, and some of us that just stayed with us from the good old days, we still use the word chores, housework kind of thing. And it's not just for women's, men's does it too. So we're almost done. I don't think I showed you the whole thing. I hope I didn't. I hope I showed you enough. There's the little hot glue hairs on there. Pretty sure it was hot glue hair and not a molly hair. Pretty sure about that. So just taking the brush, such a soft brush, and tamping from the back of the piece there to knock off some of that extra stuff. One day I'm going to get real brave and put all my mishmash leftover bits of embossing powder in one thing and use it all. Could happen. Hickin', y'all. Oh, I hadn't said that until this entire show. Hickin', y'all. What's the matter with me? I don't know. This one I decided I'm going to come off to the side before I hit it with the heat gun. Well, it is heat embossing on hot glue. Lisa Clearly. Compliments of Lisa Clearly taught me how to do this. She sent me those ATCs. I hopefully will remember to link to the prior video where I played around with this. And it made me want to continue and try it on canvas. And I think it is a success. It's a success for me. Okay? And I know some of you are going, you should have painted that root black, but I really didn't want to paint it black. I wanted it to stick out like it does. Okay? Excuse me just a second. So there we go. I think I'm about to wrap it up. Get ready for the photo montage. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you, your kind comments, your likes, your subscriptions, your shares, your thumbs up, your kind comments, and I could repeat it 20 times and it wouldn't be enough. Thanks for watching, and happy arting, y'all!